Tune in, it's time for Kami G. Bringing stars and stories, it's where you wanna be. From celebs to entrepreneurs, she's got the scoop. Community and entertainment, she's in the loop. Every smile a burst of velvet light. Through the screen she shines so bright. With the laughs and tales that weave tonight.
Well, welcome to another episode of SKST Radio, and you tuned into the Kami Grayson Show. And let me tell you, I have a beautiful lady who I just met. She goes by the name of JoAnn Dotson. JoAnn, she's an authoress, a fellow authoress. I mean, she is the bomb.com. JoAnn, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Absolutely. Thank you, girl. So I see it's still sunshiny out your way. And baby, let me tell you something. It is like looking all good. You got all your glow going on. And woo, I just want to learn everything that you got going on. So I know you're an author. So tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Well, I'm a retired educator. I did 32 years of education. I taught kindergarten through second grade. I also taught writing at my school as well.
Okay.
When I was teaching writing, we had a program called Spilled Ink. And Spilled Ink was a program where the students would write their stories from kindergarten through second grade. We had a committee that would select the books. We had, they also illustrated their stories. So we had illustrators as well. And each year we would have an author's tea for them with their printed book. We'll compile it. Yeah, we'll compile it into one book called Spilled Ink. And then they would come and read their author title or their illustration, show the illustration to the entire group of parents. And so I've been just loving books and writing ever since I can, what we say, remember ourselves.
Okay, so have you always had the knack for writing?
Well, yes, I was just telling someone that I think I might have been reading around 6 years old and started writing around that same age because my mom was a pastor. And so when she exhausted all of her information from the books, that she could pull poems from, back in the day, people would get up and remember their Easter speech and had to say it. And so when she exhausted all of that, she would say, well, I don't have any more poems to pull from this source. So my sister and I, she said, would y'all help me write these Easter speeches? So we would write it and give it to the members of the children that were a member of the church. And so, again, they had to remember it and they had to say it. There was no looking at your paper or your cell phone, any of that stuff back then.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you think your role as from learning to be a writer, do you think that's the reason why you became an educator?
I think it is. Actually, no.
No?
You know what? No, I think, for me, everybody have their gifts and their talents. I think it was a calling for me. Ever since maybe the fourth grade, I had a teacher named Mrs. Dean. And I've always had like my neighbors next door. I always had that little chalkboard and I was like, come in the backyard. Let me show you how to do your letters and your numbers. And Jonathan and Teresa was the boy and girl's name that I was teaching to. And so I said, come let me show you how to do your letters and your numbers and stuff. So, after we got through making mud pies, of course.
Of course.
But yeah, from there. So what solidified it though for me was Mrs. Dean. She was my fourth grade teacher. She just solidified the whole thing for me. And I knew really from the fourth grade, because, growing up, you want to be several different things. And I knew that was a part of my journey was helping others. But she solidified it for me in the fourth grade. And so I knew I wanted to be a teacher. Told my mom then, Mom, I want to teach. And so that was always my goal to do that.
Yeah. It to me, it just seems so amazing when we can help little brains function, right? Um,
Absolutely.
I used to do, when I worked for the mall, we had a kids club program, and I would do Young Authors Network. And that's where the little kids get to come and do exactly like your program. They get to learn how to do illustration, they get to write their stories, and then before they're done, they get a chance to recite to the parents at the mall. And so it was so cool because you got a little stage and you got all the people in the mall walking, and they get a chance to see the little author up there reading their own book and watching a little illustration. So that is something that, it's a gift. It's a gift that I believe that we share, that we can share with others. And so, what reading is what it gets kids in the mode of being out of their box, right? It gives them an opportunity to grow and go to different places, and it's just amazing to me.
It really is. And reading and writing go hand in hand.
Absolutely.
It really does. And when I was teaching writing, I would, the kids would often say to me, "Well, I don't know what to write about." And so, and I would say to them, "Well, what about what you told me about your sister the other day?" So they were like, "Oh, I can write about that." I was like, "Listen, right? You can write about anything. Your journey to the grocery store, the time you got in trouble. Of course, we had our prompts and all those things.
Right.
I always read into that one student who told me they couldn't. I don't know what to write about. So, and I said, "Really?" I said, "Well," and then I would say to them, "Well, tell me what you just said to me." And they would say, "What did I say, Mrs. Dotson?" And I said, "You just told me you didn't know what to write about." I said, "Write about that." I don't know what to write about. And how you walked over here to me, the things that you had going through your head at the time. I said, "Write about that." So that's how I, would inspire them to go ahead and write. You can write about anything.
You know what? So you're being humble here. I mean, so you've won all these prizes and teacher of the year and all these different things. And so you are that person that those kids love. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, oh wow, I really miss teaching. Um, and I guess for me, I was just always, and this is cliche, but when kids arrived at school, I was their parent while they was there.
Yeah.
I don't have children of my own, although I have a host of nieces and nephews, believe me. But I was just that parent at school. If I had kids, I treated them the same way. I, would discipline them. I couldn't put my hands on them, of course, but I'm like, no, we don't do that. But
Hmm.
I was just that teacher. You're right. That all the kids love. I stay in contact with some of my fellow students, former students now. I had one that stopped all the way from Virginia just to come and see me on his way to
Oh,
Florida. And so, just a bunch of them that I still stay in contact with. And I also taught chess while I was teaching. We used to have chess tournaments at my school.
hmm.
So I would teach them how to play chess because it is a game where it teaches you to really think and use your cognitive skills, and it
Hmm.
teaches patience. Before we would have the chess match, I would say you got to shake hands, and no matter what
Hmm.
happens after the chess game is over, whoever's won, you have to shake hands again. So it helped to build them with the mathematical skills. It
Hmm.
taught the patience. It taught cognition. Chess is just a wonderful game that I taught as well. My room, I think, was just one of those rooms where it was always buzzing.
I bet. I bet. I mean, just thinking about all the things that you have done and the the children that you've worked with, I know you've impacted a lot of lives. And so I just think it's amazing. I think it's just amazing. So let's go into your support system. So you have this husband,
Hmm.
this Benjamin man, this man here
Yes.
goes by the name of Mr. Benjamin Dotson. So
Yes.
tell us a little bit about him and how he's been so supportive in your life.
Well, my husband is a retired educator as well. He taught high school at Baldwin High. He was again with me. I'm also a retired pastor. We were in the ministry together. But he has gone with me on some of my expos, my author expos that we go to, carries my books for me, and just supports me in any way with this authorship that I have. And, even when I was teaching, even with the kids, they were, some of the parents, I would give them my phone number.
Mm-hmm.
And so the kids would call me and so he would say to me, well, sweetheart, they don't think that you have a life outside of teaching, do that. Well, I just need to talk to them for one more moment. And we're going to, and so I was telling the kids, well, I have to go now. But I had that relationship with that kind of relationship with the parents. And my husband, I just thank him every day for his support that he shows me through this journey. It is, sometimes it's late night hours when I'm talking to my illustrator. She's from Pakistan. And so her time is different from my time. Mm-hmm. And so the late night hours, I'm in the office, and he supports me in that way, without telling me to come to bed. So he knows what I'm doing.
When you come to bed, girl, you've been working all day.
Yeah, he knows what I'm up to. And we're trying to get the book, in its proper form before we actually send it out.
I love it. I love it. And so my next question for you is really simple. Mm-hmm. You have a few hobbies that you like doing.
Yes.
What is your most favorite hobby?
Listen, my most favorite hobby right now is traveling. I love traveling. I am headed to Paris May the 9th. I'm headed there with a group of women. You probably heard of Travel Divas. So it's a bunch of us. It's like 25 of us. We're headed there. Mm-hmm. Next week, my retirement trip. We went to Venice, Italy. We did Rome. We did Croatia. A beautiful place called Montenegro, which at that time I had never heard of. It is really beautiful. We did Naples. What else did we do? And I believe, and then last year, 2024, we went to Ghana. So those were my international trips. I just love traveling. And I do it on behalf of the ancestors. And I always, whenever I land, I always say, God, I thank you that my eyes can see what my ancestors couldn't. I can see it. I can smell it. I can touch it. And while I'm there, I can taste it. And I just raise my hand and say, God, I thank you that I can see what my ancestors couldn't see and do what they couldn't do.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. Now, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about Ghana. We're going to talk about what's going on there and all the cool things. I'm not going to share with the audience yet. I want them to find out, what Ghana has to do with our conversation when we come back. So I love it, love it, love it. Excited. So be back after these messages.
That was wonderful.
An SKST Radio Network production. Powered by SKST Radio Network and SGAN.
Story has a moment when it finally meets the world. And for author Kami Grayson, that moment is now. This book is more than words on a page. It's a journey, a message, a movement.
Calling all authors. Is your book ready to go from finished to fully seen? The Kami Grayson PR agency is your partner for premium branding, copyright and trademark guidance, cinematic book trailers, polished author websites, media exposure, and monthly marketing support. We don't just promote books, we build authors.
Dive into the vibrant world of the SKST podcast, where passion meets entertainment. Join us as we explore the dynamic stories that drive street grind entertainment and the creative beats behind Beats by Bro Production. Each episode promises insightful conversations and electrifying moments, celebrating culture and innovation. Tune in and feel the energy as we bring raw talent and unforgettable experiences to your ears.
All right. If you just tuned in, you haven't tuned in too late. You tuned into the Kami Grayson Show. And no, this is not Authors Network, but baby, we have had a couple of good authors in here for real, making me ready for Authors Network to happen. So we have Miss JoAnn Dotson. And man, I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to remove my face and her face so you guys can see her little book in the corner. So I'm going to remove us just real quick. All right, we're back. So I wanted y'all to see that cute little book because JoAnn, tell people why I'm so excited about this little book.
You're excited. Now you're making me even more excited. My book, Gonna Love. I went to Ghana, Africa in 2024, my husband and I went there because I wanted to honor all of my ancestors. At that time in my life, all of my brothers had passed. I grew up with 9 brothers. All of them had passed. My mom had passed years ago, my father. So I went to honor the ancestors in 2024 with Dr. Skip Mason from Atlanta, Georgia. He did a Return to Your Roots tour. So it was
nice.
It was 66 of us on that journey. We did a 9-hour flight to Amsterdam, did a layover there, and then did the next leg 9 hours. It was a long flight, but it was really well worth it. And so I wanted to take that journey, like I said, to honor the ancestors. And I am so glad I did. I am telling you, we did a renaming ceremony. So my name, Ghanaian name is Akua Bima.
Akua Bima.
Which means innocent, and I am. I was like, oh, wow, look at that. So I said, God knows I am. So anyway, so just the experience of being there on that journey. We were there for 9 days. And this particular trip was not a luxury trip with Dr. Skip Mason. It is really a historical trip. The tour guides that we had just broke it down so magnificently about the history. We went to W.E.B. Du Bois' home when he moved over there. Okay. It was really a significant trip that I just treasure to this day. And and I cry. You know, most people everybody have a different experience. And, I tried my best not to cry when we got to the River of No Return. But, once I stuck my feet in the water, I can't explain it. Like I said, just to say the ancestors were there with me. And I just released it and I just began to cry. What them shoulder cries like this.
Yeah. Well, okay, so this trip, it was so amazing that you were blessed to be able to do that, because I always want to go to Egypt. That's on my bucket list, And so, our Kush heritage, where we were the kings and queens. I always want to go just so I can see that, So it's amazing that you got an opportunity to go there. And I remember we had a student when I was in Dallas. She was from Ghana. And she worked with my kids. I worked with children from Girls Incorporated. So she was like my little assistant for the summer that she was there. And she taught those kids like little games and dances and things that they did in Ghana. So her knowledge and what she shared with our students always made me feel like that was something that another place that I would like to go to. So now that you've been there, you can share with us, the children, about the children and things that the blessing that you blessed these children with. So tell us a little bit about that.
Oh yeah, we stopped at a school while we were there. And when we stopped at the school, the kids were on their recess. Lucky us, they were out there. And so, we had several of the people that were on the bus. They just kind of rushed us. And so I got a chance to meet some of the students, took pictures with them. And so later on, we went to, like I said, the renaming ceremony. And so when we went to renaming ceremony, they had some of the kids, beating the drums. And so I asked Dr. Mason, if he would talk to the chief about me leaving some books for them. So, because when I went, I had already prepared and asked him, in advance, could I leave some books? And he said, sure. But, of course, had to get the chief's authority on it. And so I left maybe about 15 books. And I said, distribute them to the kids that, that are good readers, or kids just don't have the books. I said, please distribute this to them.
Yeah.
And so the chief of the village did that for me. It was a wonderful experience. I wish I had the pictures that I could show at this moment. It's soul grabbing. It just does something on the inside that we just can't deny who we are. It was just a beautiful feeling. It really was.
Well, we're going to share. Actually, she's going to come back next month for our Authors Network, and then we'll share. But tell people how to get to your website, because the video that I saw was so breathtaking to see the actual children reading the book. And so tell people how they can find you on your website.
Okay. Well, let me tell you this, that when we went to Ghana, that was wonderful. But the kids that are reading my books are actually in Uganda.
Uganda.
And, Uganda. Yeah. So I support them every 2 or 3 years. I send them books. I send them school supplies. I send them basically whatever the center person tells me that they need. And so when I sent them those books, I told them, I said, please send me a video. And so I see myself in every last one of these children in Uganda. And if you like to buy any of my books, you can buy them at www.authorjoanndotson.com. Or if you go to Amazon, you can just type in JoAnn Dotson's books and they should show up.
I love it. Absolutely love it. It's such a blessing to be able to bless, right?
Absolutely.
And so for them, if y'all go to her site, you'll see the video of the kids reading the books. And so you could just feel the warmth, and they were all excited, to be a part of it. And they had the little books open, and, it's just amazing that they have that opportunity. Right. And so I have a kid's book. And I just got started in the kid realm, right?
Wonderful.
Thank you. And so I can only imagine the kids once they start reading my book. I've done videos of my book, and just letting little kids look at it, their eyes get big. It's cartoons, right? Their eyes get big. And so think of the kids that don't have that all the time. That's not used to it all the time.
Absolutely.
So to me, hats off to you. You're a shero for being able to get into that realm and able to get your books out to a broader audience, I should say. A broader audience.
Yes, absolutely. And I also have a free library in the community that I grew up. So I'm chartered with a free little library organization. And so I give books over there freely. And I do it because when I was growing up, my parents couldn't afford to buy me books, unless I went to the library. I want every child to have the opportunity to read and to learn and to just read for fun, Yeah. When I was teaching, that we had kids to read, but it was for points. It was called Reading Renaissance. They were reading for points, AR, Accelerated Reader. And I just want them to read for fun. And, sometimes just to escape, the situations that some of them are in. It's a wonderful, that's what books do for us.
Yeah, exactly. And that was my point. They get an opportunity to escape, So tell us about the little girl here, this little book that's right underneath us here.
Oh, listen. When I was talking to my illustrator about this particular book, I already knew that I wanted the continent of Africa. I didn't know exactly, the color and all that. And so we settled on this. And then I said, I want kids around it, around the continent. Because when I went to that school, the kids just bum rushed us, and it was just wonderful. So I want the kids to be around it. So she sent that back for me to approve. And then I said, something is missing. So I wanted a little small child, because early reading is very, very important.
Yes,
So
very
I told
important.
her, yes, I wanted to be maybe about 2 or 3, 4 years old in that age category. And
Mhm.
so, and I said, I definitely want to have Afro puffs.
Got to have our Afro puffs.
Yeah, of some kind. I said, I want to have some Afro puffs because, it kind of reminds me when I was growing up and our parents
Mhm.
did that for us. And so I want kids to see themselves. Representation is very important. And
Exactly.
so that's where the little girl came in. And when I saw it, I just started laughing. I told her, I said, Amna, you did a beautiful job illustrating illustrating the cover. And I just told her, you just made me laugh. And I just, I said, I wanted to cry, but I'm not going to cry. So you got my vision very clearly.
Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. And it's always important to have an illustrator that gel with you. A lot of times you can't get it right. They don't see your vision. So to have an illustrator that can see your vision and gel with you, it's wonderful.
Absolutely. And sometimes, again, because she's in Pakistan, her culture and language is a little different.
Hmm.
When some things that I would tell her, she wouldn't quite understand. So I tried to like draw a picture of on the paper what I was talking about. And I got my little crayons and I would color, and I said, this is what I'm talking about. And sometimes that will work. But my illustrator is wonderful. She does a
Yeah.
beautiful job and she is really fast. Sometimes I can't keep up with her. So, so she's a wonderful illustrator. I really appreciate her so much.
I love it. So now we've come to the part where we're asking about words of wisdom. So if someone young, inspiring to be an authoress like yourself, and they wanted to get in the realm of doing children's books, such as yourself, what type of words of wisdom would you give her?
I would tell them to reach out to someone who is in that field because as authors, we do like to share. And I am one who will help anyone that wants to write books. So young people do it. It is, for you, you have everything at your hand. You even have AI now that can do it
Yes.
for you.
Yes.
So
Putting us
yes,
out of work.
absolutely. So now just do it. Find the resources and just do it. Like that Nike commercial. Just do it. It's
Just
not, it's
do it.
not hard at all.
Yeah, absolutely. So now, as we come to the end, is there anything you would like to share with our audience about what's going on, what's your upcoming projects that you're working on, and let people know what's really happening out there?
Okay. Well, my upcoming project is to finish Gonna Love. That's the title of my book. And to finish that is in poetry form. And those pictures that I had from Ghana, my illustrator actually turned those into the pictures for the book.
Nice.
And so my future plan is to pretty much do the same. I have a whole notebook of stories that I've written that I have already stated in the past to other people that I want to publish every last one of them in there before I leave this realm. So I keep saying, God, give me the money, give me the funds to do so because children's books are more expensive, just than doing the novels because of the pictures.
Right.
So the last words of wisdom to anyone is to go ahead and do what you're going to do. Don't hesitate. That we're in a time now where you can't hesitate. Whatever your plans are, go ahead and do that because life is really short.
Yeah, it
It
is.
really
It
is.
really is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, tell people how they can get in touch with you and how they can find you on social.
Okay, you can find me on Facebook at author JoAnn Dotson. Author JoAnn Dotson. I'm on Instagram, same thing, Author JoAnn Dotson. I'm on LinkedIn as Author JoAnn Dotson. So you can find me on all those platforms. Just type in my name, and I should pop up.
I
And
absolutely love it.
and yes.
Well, I love it. So, well, I want to thank you for being on the show today. I appreciate all the nuggets that you've shared with us today. And is there anything else you would like to say to anyone?
Well, one of the things that I would like to say again, and again, I keep re-emphasizing this, is to go ahead and do what you are going to do now. I can't say it enough. As I stated earlier, I lost all of my brothers. All of those are gone. It's just my sister and I. My mom had 11 kids. We're down to just my sister and I.
Wow.
Don't take it for granted. Go ahead and do whatever it is you want to do now. Find it where there's a will, there's a way. And with all the technology and the resources that this world has now that we didn't have growing up, there is no more excuses for going ahead and doing your goals and your plans. No excuses.
I love it. I love it. Okay, well, Miss JoAnn, until next time, right here, SKST Radio. Tell them bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you for having me, Kami.
Absolutely. Bye-bye. Thank you.